Hey guys, and welcome to episode 7 of Omnifactory. Another rainy day here, as usual. Always seems to be raining. Anyway, so last time we got all this chemistry started, we got our blast furnaces set up, we upgraded DML even further, which was really nice. I've done some more crafting as well. If we look at circuit, yeah, we have hundreds of circuits now, so it means we can now progress. Yeah, the first thing I'd like to do is finally set up the automatic loot fabrication, as I mentioned in the previous episode. So the way this system's set up so far is we are running simulation chambers in the front here. Their pristine matters are going into this drawer. However, we're just manually exchanging the pristines for the items that we need at the moment. But today I'd like to set up the pristine processing automatically. To do that, we're going to need some more loot fabricators. So I'm not sure if I have everything. I did pre-craft quite a lot of this, but I might be missing one or two items. Looks like I'm missing some dark steel plates. I'll get those. Oh look, I already had them cut. Nice. I forgot I put these in here. So these take the tier 2 circuits, which is why I wanted to get those cheaper earlier on. So these are really easy for us now. Is 10 going to be enough? Yeah, check the notes for which ones we're going to process right now, and 10 seems to be enough, at least with these two that we have already here. So we can lay them out something like this, and then we'll extend power along. And then we're going to run some ME conduit or ME flux cable along here for level emitters, and this is what's going to get used to control how much of each item we process. So we'll put a level emitter on each one. Something like that. And then we're going to configure our output conduits to active without signal. Actually no, we're extracting purple. Extract purple, active without signal is what we want. Then use our conduit probe. Paste, paste. There, so now the next step is to put our pristine matters in each one. So we're going to need item filters for that. I have some crafted here. We'll extend the item conduits along. So now we're going to filter the inserts on this. And we're going to say pristine matter from here. It's up to 64. This has been extracted from the interface, and then we're going to insert pristine spider matter into this one. Insert on brown. So this should be getting pristine spider matter. For the moment we only need copper, so I'm going to set this to copper. And then on this level emitter we'll set this also to copper. And we'll set it for, let's say, 2000. So when stock is below 2000 copper, this level emitter will turn off, and the ME conduit will stop extracting from here. There, so because we have over 2000 copper in our system, this is turned on, and this will just fill the output buffer with copper and not extract anymore. I'm going to do the same for all of these loot fabs and configure them with their own pristine matter. Okay, all the drawers are now configured, so I'll show you what we've got here. Blaze rods, sulfur, magma blocks, tin ingots, silver, coal, gold, redstone, glowstone, lead, and iron. These numbers that I've set here, like for example the iron and all the ingots, basically I've set at slightly higher threshold. So when we're underneath 5000 iron, this is going to start. Lead I've got a bit lower at 2000, although things like magma block, I'm just going to keep that at 1000 just now. Same with sulfur, because there's a lot of other byproducts that produce sulfur. And blaze rods even, I'm only going to keep it 200 for now. Again, I'll tweak these numbers, but... oh, I guess I forgot to set this filter here. Anyways, yeah, so with this system, we now ensure that we always keep these items in stock. I mean, so long as we're running them in simulation chambers. I'll probably have to switch out some of these here, because I haven't had the zombie in for quite a while. I think we might be running low on zombie matter. Maybe not, we still have 3 stacks of that. So yeah, I think this is how this system's going to stay at for the moment. Of course we'll expand it in the future as we need more resources. And we'll add some more simulation chambers and even more loot fabricators. Alright, so now that that DML system is set up, the next thing I'd like to tackle is doing cobbleworks. So we're going to make cobblestone and generate all the byproducts from that. So we're going to make sand, gravel, clay, And we're also going to electrolyze clay for aluminium. So I think we'll just set that up here. I think that seems to be a good space for it, this little square. And I believe I have everything for it, but although it's likely that I've missed something. Also, let's just unpin all this, because it's kind of... I've been letting it build up and build up and build up, and it'd be nice to have this section just clean. There we go, that's much cleaner now. Alright, so we're going to start with a cobble generator underneath here, like here, and then we'll have item conduits go into 3 macerators on round robin. There, so now these 3 macerators are getting gravel. This middle one I think will store in a compacting drawer, and this will be our source of gravel. The one on the left we also want to output. This will output sand I think, if we give this power. We'll set that to auto extract, and that will be our sand. So this one's getting us sand. We want to both store the sand and also smelt the sand. So we're going to put that in a compacting drawer and also a furnace. And we'll round robin that. We'll power the furnace and auto output on the side. There, like that. So now we have sand, gravel, glass. We need one for clay and dust as well. So that's going to be for this line here. So actually, instead of going up for this, I think I'm going to go to the side and then up one. So this one's going to auto output. This is going to auto output once again. Dust I think we'll store as well, and then we're also going to chemical react that, the dust, in order to make clay. And we need to somehow give this water as well. So I could just stick an end of war up here, but that's ugly. So I think we'll just put it in the floor and run item or fluid conduits up for it. There, so now this is filling with water. We need to somehow round robin the dust between this drawer and this. So I wonder, can we put conveyors on both of these? I'm not sure. Let's just try it and see. It looks like it does split it evenly, because they're both taking the same amount of items per second. Yeah, that should work. We also want to store clay in a compacting drawer. So I think we'll use 2 more covers for that as well. And then the other side we're going to output into another macerator. This is going to give us clay dust, and then we will electrolyze clay dust, and that will give us aluminium dust, sodium, silicon, and lithium. So we can put our electrolyzer 1 higher. We'll auto output this. And then we can output this onto a drawer controller. And then we need how many drawers? 1, 2, 3, 4 drawers. So put 1 there. 2, 3, 4, something like that. And we'll lock them all. And 1 will be for sodium. 1 will be for lithium, silicon, and aluminium. And then we can auto output this. There, so we now have all the cobble byproducts. It actually turned out quite a bit better than I thought it would. Although I'm still not sure about this, but it turned out a bit neater than I thought. Although the only thing is we have to connect our conduits all the way around here like this. And we'll need a storage bus as well for the controller to access everything through ME. There's a storage bus. These storage buses are still quite expensive at this point, but they're still worth it. So we'll put the storage bus on the controller and set this to high priority. If we look in our ME terminal now, we should see cobblestone, gravel, sand, glass, all of that going up. Yeah, we are. Looks like this isn't getting quite enough water though. I suppose we can put an extraction speed upgrade on this end of war. Yeah, let's try that. And we'll put an extraction speed in this. Maybe 1 more. You running full blast now? Another one? We might need 2 connections on this. I might have to do something like this. Or no, it would have to be a different block. Like this one. There we go. Now, yeah, now it's filling up with water. And actually, do we even need these? Looks like it's still going up, so yeah, that seems to have fixed the problem. It's a bit ugly, but we can put conduit facades in there eventually. I don't know if I should keep it like this, or maybe move it in one. Yeah, I think that looks at least a bit cleaner. Nice, I think this is now done. We can call this done. And we're producing aluminium now for the blast furnaces automatically. And because this is set on a higher priority, any of the existing aluminium that I have on ME drives will be used first. and then it will use this one. I was just looking again through JEI for some other things we want to maybe passive and add to this. And now that we have our DML system set up for magma blocks, we might as well use this to create lava. And then with the lava we can create obsidian, which is another block we can keep passively stocked. So I think I'll end up doing that. That only needs another chemical reactor and a fluid solidifier. So there's a fluid solidifier and a chemical reactor. Let's just add it on this right side here. And actually what we can do is piggyback off this interface, and we'll add magma blocks in here. And then we'll make sure this is filtered, is it? It is not filtered, so we have to be careful of that. We have to filter this for sulfur dust. And then we'll insert magma blocks on here. So now this is making lava, and then we can fluid auto output to the top. And once we power this, this should now be making lava for us. Now we can just connect it to this drawer network, and it should all be accessible by the ME system. There, something like that. So now we're getting obsidian as well. This is really slow, but I mean it's passive and it's free, so we might as well. Alright, so I took a little break and I was looking at this some more when I came back. And I realised we were missing something, and I set up this whole cobbleworks and didn't put a drawer for cobblestone. So that's been added now. I don't remember exactly what was here before. I've switched some machines about. But yeah, the cobblestone just shares from the cobble generator that's underneath here. I've also added my grains of infinity to here as well. That comes from this ender chest, and that's from the farm we set up a few episodes ago. It's just inserting into this drawer. And yeah, we can now see that on the ME system through this drawer controller. I think this drawer controller was where the obsidian was before. But the storage bus is still there. I also cleaned up this side a little bit more with the conduits. It just looks a little bit neater. And I also took the time here and I just set up this tree farming station from Ender.io. We have power and AE channels coming in here. We have an end reservoir to supply water. And the way this farming station works is it requires axes and hoes in order to function. So we have just auto crafters here. Oh, why are you out of rubber? Hold on. Okay, I was just changing the conduit connections. I just had it on the wrong channel there. But anyways, yeah, we've got a cobblestone generator supplying cobblestone to these two crafters. One's making hoes, one's making axes. And the way we're getting the sticks is from the farm itself. The wood is on a priority 1 here. And this is just crafting sticks for us. The sticks get put into these two crafters in order to craft the tools. And then all of the excess goes up here to this drawer system. These drawers hold canola, sticks, saplings, wood, and also rubber. As you can see though, it is pretty fast. I've only had this set up about 20 minutes or so. And we have 137 stacks of rubber. 23 stacks of saplings. Yeah, already 100 or 12,000 rubber. So with that set up, that'll be very useful later on for like auto crafting and things. We'll just have easy access to rubber. We can craft chests with this easier. We're going to use the rubber items in order to craft liquid rubber to coat the wires in. I don't think I'm going to set that up right now though. So I think for now I'm going to process the rubber wood. The rest of the things we'll process at a later stage. And I think I'll just tuck it in here. So we can centrifuge rubber wood in order to get carbon. It'll give us wood pulp, plant balls, and also some more rubber as well. And it also gives us liquid methane, which is going to be, I think, useful later on for making hydrogen. We can make more hydrogen this way. But for now, we'll just store it as methane, and we'll process the rubber wood down to give us carbon. Always out of motors. Always out of something. Anyways, there's a centrifuge. We'll need a drum to store these things in. And a storage bus. Or no, we won't need the storage bus. We can use these drawers here. Let's see, how do we want to do this? We can put our centrifuge here. We'll put the drum next to that and the trash can on top. Actually, nah, we won't cheap out here. I'm just going to make another storage bus and another set of drawers rather than trying to plug everything into this one. It's going to look way too janky for me, so let's maybe put the drum here instead. And we can share this trash can. So we'll move that conduit up. We'll have another fluid conduit here for the excess methane. Actually, we'll move this drum up 1. And then we can put a drawer controller here and put drawers next to that. So we need, what, 4 in total? Put the drum there. And then we can add the rubber wood to this interface. And then we'll insert the centrifuge on rubber wood. And we'll filter this as well. So now this will be centrifuge and rubber wood. We now need to deal with the output, so we can extract fluids on brown. I'm missing some filters here. So we'll set trash on lower priority, filtered for methane, and the drum higher priority, filtered for methane as well. And then as for these items, we can just auto extract to the side, and we'll add these items to our drawers. Like that. And then we can add a storage bus to the controller, hook it up to the AE system. And I suppose I should also add a fluid storage bus to this methane as well. There's a fluid storage bus. And we'll partition for methane and we'll set on a lower priority. Since this is going to be a secondary producer of methane, we want this to be used first. Alright, we're now producing carbon with this, and we have access to more rubber, which we will process a little bit later on. This just means I have to do one less step though manually at the moment. I'm going to just make sure all these conduits I've placed are correct. Don't want any accidents with fluids going in this trash or anything. Alright, and with those things taken care of, I'm just trying to look through the quests here just to see what our next step will be. And I think it's going to be to automate stainless steel, because we're going to need a lot of this. So that is a blast furnace recipe, so I think we will just set up one more blast furnace next to this annealed copper for stainless steel. I should have everything for it. I don't know if I have the controller block, but I definitely have some heat-proof casings left over. And I guess we'll just make it copper nickel for now, since we can't really do much else. So there's another controller block, and let's just lay this out here. I think it's like this. Yeah. So for us to get stainless steel in up here, it is not something we can just get straight from ore. We have to use iron, chrome, manganese, and nickel. So I think I'm gonna, well, for a start we'll need another interface. Oops. We'll need another interface because this one here is like almost full. We're going to need a couple of inputs on this. Then I think we'll use another crafter for this as well. So we'll put the crafter in the input bus. This will automatically pull from the crafter. I'm not sure if the crafter ejects items or if this input bus pulls items, but either way, I've seen people set it up like this and it should work. So then we can extract from this. Actually, I'm going to move this interface just down one block. It'll be a bit cleaner that way. We'll set the extract again as normal on blue, straight back into the interface. Make sure to hide from terminal. And we're actually going to need a limited item filter as well. I don't know if I have any of those. Oh, I do have one left. Nice. So then we're going to filter each of the components to the interface. So nickel, manganese, iron, and chrome dust. And might as well set this to 64. And then we'll extract from the interface, insert into the crafter with the filter. So iron, chrome, manganese, and nickel. So the crafter is now filling. We need to set the recipe as well in here. And this doesn't need to be a fast insertion in here because this recipe is quite a long recipe, I think. Actually, how long is this? Yeah, 30 seconds at MV so far. So as you can see, it's now crafting the stainless steel. And it should be putting it into this hatch. If I take this out, yeah, it does automatically put it in there. And for now, we don't have an automatic way of stocking these items, at least not in dust form, so we'll have to set that up eventually. But at least now that when we have these items, the stainless steel should craft. And we can do our usual level limiter on here as well with machine controller. And we'll configure this to stainless steel. I don't know, 1,000 for now? Sure. We're going to need a lot of this stuff, so. Alright, nice. And that is stainless steel partially automated. Something else I wanted to get set up was production of chrome dust and also nickel dust. So the best way I think to do that is just to get it straight from ores. And if we do some minor ore processing, like put it through a centrifuge and pulverize it, we can really increase our output just from the ores, and then we can buy it for super cheap with the Omnicoins. So I took some time and set up this very rudimentary ore processing. This whole system is so slow, and yeah, it's not supposed to be quick because it's only at MV tier. But let me show you how this is set up. So all the input is here. I've bought a few ores that we're going to need for it later on, but all of the input gets put into this first macerator. And then I have covers on all of these, so with oredictionary filters. There is a really useful guide on the Omnifactory GitHub page for ore processing. And the way this works is it searches the oredictionary. So if you like search JEI for crushed, it'll give you all of the crushed dusts. Like you can see the oredictionary tag there, which is what this is matching. And this one is set on blacklist, so anything that's not crushed goes into this one. Anything that is crushed, this is on whitelist, goes here and moves down the line. So you can see all of these are crushed nickel, crushed ruby, and crushed pyrolusite. All of the crushed items then get ore washed. And I have two more covers on this. This is for blacklist again, so this is crushed purified this time. And this is again crushed purified on whitelist. And this gets moved down the line. This once again gets macerated. And there's two more covers on here. It just keeps repeating basically. This one's on dust pure this time. Blacklist up. And whitelist to the left. For dust pure. All of the dust pure gets put here. And it all gets put into the centrifuge. I've got another conveyor on here, just blank. So everything from this buffer gets put in here. I probably don't need this buffer here, but anyways, everything from the centrifuge then gets put in this chest where it gets split 3 ways. So in this chest we're going to be getting tiny piles, small piles, and regular dusts. So all of the dust tiny go to the right hand side, get put into a packager and become regular dust. And for these two you have to use robot arms in order to use the supply exact function. This ensures that only 9 tiny dusts at a time get moved. If you don't move in multiples of 9, then this packager can get jammed. If you have like 4 of the dusts in here, and then this item fills up, it's not going to go anywhere, and this is all going to back stuff. Same with the dust small. This is done 4 at a time. So if you like search for small dusts, so like small gallium is crafted in 2x2, and that's what this packager does. Crafts it into regular dust. And then the outputs of these packagers go into this crate here. So you can see we're getting chrome. This is what we need for the stainless. We're also getting red garnet, barite, netherrack dust. Some of these things are kind of useless, but the chrome is really what we're after for. Each piece of chrome can turn into 9 stainless steel. So yeah, it's really worth it doing this. And then this side we're getting all the regular dust. So for the moment it's only processing ruby because I put in 2 stacks. And yeah, it's really slow. In fact, it's still got some ruby to go. Because each ore turns into 2, and then 2 crushed turns into another 1. And this turns into 2, so it takes a while for the ores to get through the system. But this is really going to help with our not as easy to get items like ruby and nickel, things like that for the time being. Eventually we will set up a full ore processing, probably IV tier for the increased yield, because the MV tier doesn't really give any chance-based outputs. So this is really just to get byproducts. So yeah, as you can see, this crafter is now filled with stainless steel, and we're going to be getting stacks of this for next time to get into HV. I've also upgraded our polymer clay. I noticed we were slightly underproducing, and now we have an excess. So before, I think the drawer was over here. In fact, no, I didn't even have a drawer for this because we were underproducing. It just went straight into this ender chest. In order to bump this up a bit, I have added a second chemical reactor. Now, I know this looks like a mess, but I've added a second MV chemical reactor to make the clathrates. So this furnace is now at 100% uptime, and so is this alloy smelter. The outputs of this alloy smelter still go in the ender chest, which is connected to this drawer, and we're now storing polymer clay here. And we have got a nice excess, so we can add some more simulation chambers as well, just to fill out these ones that we are not currently running. So that was another thing I done. I also moved the diamond setup and the shulker setup, so we have the 2 shulkers here, I believe, to make diamonds for our power. I've started a second row of simulation chambers, and this is just configured exactly the same as all the rest that are here. And I've also doubled our power output once again. So I've added 4 more dynamos, all max upgraded. So we have the calibrations and the fuel catalyzers in here. And right now we're only at about 1800 RF a tick on each dynamo. We have a lot of overhead for when we start HV. I've also just been crafting some more items, things that we need. I would like to get some more things on passive stock so that I don't have to do as much of this handcrafting. So the next thing we have to make is the tier 4 circuits and make a vacuum freezer so that we can upgrade our blast furnaces. And we also have to do some more auto crafting. I'll probably set up some applied energistics crafting with CPUs. It's about time we set those up, I think. And then after that, I think it'll be into epoxy and the next, or the 4th and final tier 1 circuits. But for now, I've just still been batch crafting a whole lot of items. Oh, one other thing I added to this cobbleworks was stone dust. We're getting that now from our ore processing. And eventually when we set up the full ore processing, all the stone dust will be going to this drawer. And it's just going to be void upgraded since we don't need an infinite supply of this, so we have a max upgraded drawer with just a void on it. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this time. Next time we're going to start HV and probably set up some more blast furnaces. Haven't quite decided yet, but yeah, there's still lots and lots to do. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.